All right, guys, how are we doing? Just a quick one. I mean, first of all, welcome back. Hello. I know it's been a little while. I expect more of this. So we started the Ronaldo return stream today over on twitch.tv/VikingDan. Come check it out. I'm going to be live mostly daily. A lot of people are asking, how have I set up the database? So what I'm going to do is take you through a really quick kind of how to set up a current season. So 21-22 season in Football Manager with all of the current transfers. Get ready. It's really easy. So first of all, what you're going to want to do is head over to sortitoutsI.net. There are other database updates available. This is the most up-to-date that I could find, and this is the one I used. So I'll show you how I've been using this. What you do want to do, though, is make sure that any database update that you use has separate transfer data and separate league data for, say, if someone's edited the leagues to be promoted or relegated. You just want to make sure that they're separate because we just want the transfer files. So we're going to go into the data update. You can either just straight download it or you can view the data update, whichever you prefer to do. You're going to download the data update, save this to your desktop, because then you can grab the exact file that you need from there. So once you've downloaded it to wherever you're going, I've dropped it in the downloads folder there, you can extract all. Extract it into that file. You then get your data. Now, what you'd normally do is just drop this straight into your FM21 My Documents folder, and that will allow you to update everything. Now, you can do that and then just deselect the league updates, but if, like me, you might have a few files or editor files in there, and it's sometimes hard to make sure you're selecting all of them, the easiest way to do it is to just go into here, maximize the view, and then what you want is changes. You just want this changes file here. So you can copy this, and then you want to head into your Football Manager editor data, and you want to paste it in here. So you can see I've already got it there. I've also got the players and staff file, which doesn't work. So there we go. I've got a few other things as well. I'll show you the May start date and the real results and how you use those in a second. Next up, what you're going to want to do is to go to Sven's workshop items for Football Manager 2021 in the Steam workshop. I will leave a link for that in the description below. But what you want to do there is you want to go into each of these files. So the May start date, the Italy real results, the Spain real results, the Liga real results, the Bundesliga real results, and the Premier League real results. Now, these are the only real results files that are available that I'm aware that work with the custom start date, but they cover the major 5 leagues, and it also does cover the sub leagues. Now, it doesn't cover the playoff results. Now, I've only checked this in England, and I know that the playoff results in England are dependent on what happens in the simulation. So if you want to get, say, Brentford to win the playoffs, you might have to sim this a couple of times, but I'll show you how to get simming and how to set up the database in a second. So now that you're subscribed to the items on the workshop and you've downloaded the transfers update, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start a new career. And then on the database tab here, make sure you're using the latest database. You're going to want to select all of the real results for Germany, Spain, France, England, Italy. Now, this is the players and staff file that, like I say, wasn't working properly. But this is the data update changes. Now, this is all the transfers. There are a couple missing, so if you're using the same file I am, then you might have to do a couple of quick transfers just before you start your next save, or you might have a newer version of the transfers where everything's been done. There's also the May start date there as well from the Steam Workshop. So once you've confirmed that they're all set up, you want to go into your advanced setup, and this is where you can select the leagues you want to play. So like I say, the leagues that are correct as of the real results and have the right league standings are going to be England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain. Now, because I'm doing the save in England with Man United, I've also added the other leagues from the UK and Ireland. But what you definitely want to do, or else this isn't going to work, is you want to make sure you select the Back to the Future League and then go back into your league setup. Now you can do however you like at this point. You can set up your play account. Now, I do have a custom advanced player pool where it pulls loads of players from all over Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, Oceania, South America. giving me almost 100,000 players in the database. I just like to play with a big database. I do have quite a good system that allows me to do that. But obviously, if you have a weaker machine or you like your game to run a bit faster, feel free to either run with a standard size database or a smaller custom database. Now, I am also running disabled first transfer window activity. Basically, my testing, what I was finding was because the transfers had already been done, teams were still going out and doing lots of transfer business. So not only were teams like Chelsea signing Lukaku, they were also going out and signing other big name strikers or, you know, other teams of that nature. PSG have already signed Messi. They're still going out and signing tons of other players. So I didn't want that to happen. I wanted the start of the game to be representative of the start of this season, or as close as we can get it. So I'm using a disabled first window activity. You can do it either way. So if you want to say, like I have, taken over Man United and signed that defensive midfielder that we so desperately need, you can do that. But the most important thing you need to do is go to your game start date. So ordinarily, you just start at the start of pre-season or whatever, but we want to select our Back to the Future start date, which is the 31st of the 5th, 2021. So the end of the current season. And obviously you can go through here and you can change the amount of leagues that you have loaded and things like that if you want to do a bit more of a journeyman save just in real time. But yeah, that's the most important thing, is make sure your start date was the 31st of the 5th, 2021. And then, as you would with any save, you start the save. Might take a little while if you've got a database the size of mine, but you can speed it up. Like I say, you can use a smaller database. I'll just jump to where we're starting the save. So there we go. Got there eventually. It did take a little while for my game to finish processing that, but we're here. Now, I'm just going to use my standard profile here to have a look at one thing, which is one thing that I like to test. And it's something that you might want to do, say if you're doing a save in France or Germany or Italy. You might want to check that the playoff teams are correct. So the team that has been promoted into the league that you're playing in is correct. Like the right team has been promoted. So let's have a look at the championship. As you can see here, Bournemouth have beaten Brentford on penalties. So if I were to do a save in England, I'd probably want to resim this to make sure that Brentford are the team that go into the Prem, just to make it a bit more realistic. But that's completely up to you and dependent on where you're doing your save. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to start unemployed, go into the managerial style, whatever. Like, just start playing. So now the game's saved. You can see there's a few insecure jobs, Arteta, unsurprisingly. But a couple of things that I've needed to do to get this to work, well, not to work properly, but to be correct, is there are a couple of transfers that were missed on the transfer update that I've used. I think they were just last-minute deals that didn't quite go through. So what you're going to want to do is to go to Antoine Griezmann, move to other club on loan, and he's not gone to Barcelona. So he's gone to Atletico. So select Atletico Madrid, and then you get the option to set up the loan. So what you're going to want to do is go to June the 30th, 2022, and he's actually got a 2-year loan. So you're going to set it to 2023. So the end of the transfer window, or the end of the contract, I guess, in 2023. You're going to set that. You're going to set it so he can't be recalled, but he can play in cup matches and he can play against his own team. You want to make sure his loan cannot be terminated. And they also are paying 100% of his wages. Now, there was a 5 million euro loan fee to be paid. Now, you can't just put a standard, as like a standard upfront fee on loans. So what I've done, and what I'd recommend, is do 400,000 a month. So that'll be 5 million, well, 4 and a bit million pounds, around 5 million euros over the course of the year. And he's also got a 40 million euro optional or mandatory future fee, which works out at around 35 million. Now, what you can do is, obviously, you'd assume that at that price, Barcelona would use that future fee and buy him outright. What I will do is I'll keep an eye on it, and if it doesn't go through, I will use this same thing, but with the transfer, and manually move him to Atleti, not to Barcelona, to Atleti for that fee. So, but that should work perfectly fine. He's going to be there. I'm going to click OK, and he's now at Atleti. He's getting his full wage paid. And he's got the optional future fee of 35 million. Now, you're also going to want to do the same thing with Luuk de Jong. But obviously, he is moving to Barcelona. Select Barcelona. Have him so he can't be recalled, can play in cup matches, can play against his own team. And again, you're going to want to set June 30th, 2022. So that's in a year. They are paying all of his wages. They're not paying him a monthly fee. They're apparently paying all of his wages. There is apparently a future fee to buy of approximately 40 million euros. So I'm going to set the same amount as an optional future fee. And I'm also going to set a loan cannot be terminated there. But there's no compulsory purchase there. It's only a 1-year loan. It's not quite as complex as the Griezmann deal. But that will move him to Barcelona for a year on loan with an optional fee to buy. And they're going to be paying all of his wages. Okay. And he's now at Barcelona, as you can see. He's getting all of his wages being paid, but they're not paying any monthly fee. So, they're the only 2 transfers that I could find that haven't been updated. There are a lot of smaller transfers that potentially did get missed, any ones that went through at the end, or even loan deals that may have gone through after the transfer window closed. So, if you have a look through and find them, then feel free to just use the same kind of the same kind of process to move those players there. But there we have it. So I'm not actually going to use this one again. I'm going to resim it and try and get Brentford to get promoted to the Premier League. And I will be making that saved file the size that I've made it with all the kind of bells and whistles and settings that I've shown here. I'm going to make that available to download through the Patreon or Twitch subscriber section on the Discord. So if you'd like to support me on Patreon or subscribe to me on Twitch, you can go into the Discord and download it from there nice and easy and just use the file. If not, like I say, just follow those steps. It's not that difficult. It's just a few steps. The thing that takes the longest, really, is just the process in the database, which is always the longest thing anyway. So, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If it's been helpful at all, please do give me a thumbs up and do subscribe if you've enjoyed it. Like I say, there is going to be more content coming on the YouTube channel pretty soon. Probably not for FM21, although I might do a few kind of updates on the Ronaldo save, like the Ronaldo coming back to Man United save. But mainly, it's going to be FM22. And I'm really looking forward to it, actually. But also, as I said earlier, I'm going to be live pretty much daily over on twitch.tv/VikingDan doing this Ronaldo returns to Man United save. So hopefully I'll see some of you over there. And if you do come over and watch and enjoy it, let me know in chat. Let me know that you came from the video. It'd be really good to see. But for me, that's it. Cheers for tuning in. Goodbye.